All right, welcome to Math Today. Today we are still doing long division, but we're adding a layer. We're using story problems. So, you have story problems, those of you at home. This is your homework sheet in your Google Classroom. So if you want to pull that out, you can if you have a different device, or you can just take notes with us and then go back and fill in the problems afterwards. All right, so division with remainders. When you do a division problem with a word problem, do you think you can just write your answer like 13R3? Does that make any sense?
No.
No. Okay, you have to answer the question they ask. So you start with your division, and then you have to figure out how to write your answer. So I need somebody to read me number 1. Zoe, nice and loud.
A librarian had to pack 39 books into boxes. If each box can hold 7 books, how many boxes will she fill? How many books will be left over?
Ooh, double question. All right, what's important that we need to mark up in our question? Hayden?
7 books, because it doesn't have the number, so you can't really...
Good, right. Sometimes that was tricking us before, right? When they write the numbers out in words, it's still a number. So, 7 books. Each box can hold 7 books. That's important. What else is important? Noah?
A librarian had to pack 39 books into boxes.
Okay, 39 books. Each box can hold 7 books. In our question, we have 2 of them. Cadence, what's our first question?
How many boxes will she fill?
How many boxes will she fill? Okay, I'm going to put a big number 1 right next to that, so I remember there are 2 questions. And when I'm checking when I'm finished, I'll make sure I've answered both. What's my second question? Angie?
How many books will be left over?
How many are left over? So
That's our remainder.
we've got 2 parts. I like your answer. I wish you'd raised your hand, but Hayden's right. How many books will be left over? That sounds like a remainder, right? Okay. So what type of a math problem do we need to do? Multiplication, division, addition, or subtraction? Chloe?
Division.
Division. We have 39 books, and we want to put 7 books in a box. All right, 39 divided into 7. Or divided by 7, I should say. 39 divided by 7. Remember to make some space so you can add your numbers. All right, what's my first step? Angie?
Not in the question. We get our whiteboards out.
Sure, yep. What's my first step? Noah?
How many times does 7 go to 3? That would be 0.
It'd be 0. So I put the 0 on the top, and then I always go to the side to multiply. If I have 0 groups of 7, 0 times 7, that's 0. 3 minus 0 is what? Hayden?
3.
It's not 0, okay? Make sure you don't kind of lose your math brain when you're doing these problems. I've seen some of you write 0 here. 3 minus nothing, you'd still have 3. All right, someone remind us, what do we do with those numbers at the bottom? Noah?
We take it to that line.
Yep, send it on a little trip up here. All right, now what do I ask myself? Someone that hasn't answered a question in a while. Cadence?
How many times will 7 go 39?
Yeah?
And it can't go
Boop, boop. Do you know how many?
5 times.
5 times, nice job. All right, once we know it'll go in 5 times without going over, well, what is 5 times 7? Emma?
45.
35. Write that down here and I subtract. All right, well, 9 minus 5 is 4. 3 minus 3 is 0. Well, now what? I can't send that number on a little trip. There's nothing up there. Zoe?
Put the 4 up.
As a what?
And
As the remainder. Good. Remainder 4. Now, if you just circled 5 remainder 4 as your answer, it would be marked probably halfway right because you're close, but we didn't answer the question right. Our first question, number 1, how many boxes will she fill? Chloe?
5.
Okay, so we need to make sure we say that. She will fill 5 boxes. All right, we answered the first question. Hayden, what's the second question?
How many books will be left over? And that's 4. So she'll have 4 books left over.
Good. She will fill 5 boxes and
4 left.
have 4 books left over. I'll give you a minute to finish writing that down. Does anyone have any questions on how we got our answer? Okay, the trickiest part of this is just knowing that your remainder does mean something. So when you're answering your word problems, you have to make sure you think through what your remainder means. All right, I'll give you about 10 more seconds on that one. If you already finished, go ahead and start reading the next one and think through what your strategy could be. All right, number 2. Alexander wanted to drink exactly 9 bottles of water each day. Wow, that's a lot. He bought a case of 62 bottles when they were on sale.
Wow.
How many days will he be able to drink water? Okay, and then there's a challenge. How many more bottles will he need to buy so he can drink 9 bottles on the final day? So we have 2 questions again, right? So first, we need to mark up our important stuff. Okay, what's important in this problem that we'll need to know to solve it? Chloe?
9 bottles of water each day.
Yep, 9 bottles of water each day. That's how much he needs. What else is important to know? Cadence?
62 bottles.
He bought a case of 62 bottles. So he has 62 bottles. He wants to drink 9 a day. What is our question? What's our question? Hayden?
How many days will he be able to drink water? I
Okay.
think that's 62 because
So this is question number 1, right? And then we have another question. After we figure that out, we need to know how many more bottles will he need so he can drink 9 bottles on his final day? That's question number 2. When I mark it like that, number 1, number 2, it reminds me not to miss part of it. Okay, it might help you too. All right. What type of math operation do I need to do to solve my problem? Josiah? Okay, but I think you probably know. Do we need to multiply, divide, add, or subtract?
Divide.
Divide, okay? There are 62 water bottles, and he wants to drink 9 each day. So let's see how many days he can drink 9 bottles. So we have 62 water bottles, and he drinks 9 each day. All right, we got our problem set up. Now let's see how many days he can continue drinking 9 bottles of water before he runs out. First step. Hayden, what do we do first?
we see how much 9's going to 6, but it's 0.
It's 0. So we put a 0 on the top. 0 times 9 is 0. Now we subtract. 6 minus 0, don't mess that up. It is 6. Okay, and then we send it up here. You all are getting good at this. How many 9's go into 62 without going over? Noah?
6.
6. All right, well, if you're thinking 6 times 9, that's 54. If I do 7 times 9, it's 63. That won't work. So, he is right. 9 times 6. 9 times 6 is 54. Right. Now, some people I've seen struggle a little bit here. Forget all the rest. It's just a typical subtraction, right? So you just borrow from the 6, make it a 5, make the 2 a 12. So 12 minus 4 would be what? Noah?
8.
8. And then 5 minus 5 is 0.
I didn't get that.
Check your work. Find your mistake. That's the best way to learn from it. All right, what do I do with this 8 now? Because I don't have any more places to carry it. Angie?
It's your remainder.
It's my remainder. So I have 6 remainder 8. That is not my answer. It's pretty close, right? But that's not quite right for my answer they want me to say. How many days will he be able to drink water? 9 bottles. How many days can he do that? Josiah?
6.
6. Okay, we had 6 complete groups. So he can drink 9 bottles for 6 days. He can drink 9 bottles a day for 6 days. So that answers the first part. I'll give you a minute to write that down. And then we need to think about the answer to the second part. And we need to think about it carefully. So if you get finished with the first part, think about the second question. know that there's a remainder of 8 bottles left over. And in order to make it a complete day, he needs 9 bottles each day. So our question says, how many more bottles does he need to buy so he can drink 9 bottles on his final day? He had 8 left over, so how many more does he need? Josiah?
8.
He has 8 left. So how many more does he need to make it 9?
1.
1 bottle. Okay, do you guys all with your hands up agree? Yeah, if he had 1 more bottle and had a remainder of 9, could we make 1 more group?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so the last part, he needs to buy 1 more bottle, right? Or you can just say he needs 1 more bottle. So you do have to be careful. Sometimes people just find the remainder, and that's, I mean, normally the remainder is the extra answer, but they needed you to really think about the remainder. Any questions on that one? Nice job. All right, number 3. Do I have a reader? Reader. Josiah, nice and loud.
A coat factory has 17 coats. If they wanted to put them into 5 boxes with the same number of coats in each box, how many extra coats will there be?
Ooh. Okay, there's only one question, but we need to think critically. All right, what's important in our problem, first of all, to underline? Zoe, can you give me one bit of important stuff we need to underline?
The coat factory has 17 coats.
They have 17 coats. All right, what else is important? Emma?
5 boxes.
They've got 5 boxes. And you have to have the same number of coats in each box. Okay, so we're splitting them up evenly into 5 boxes. That's pretty important. So I'm going to underline that. Same number of coats in each box. How many extra coats will there be? Okay, that's our question. So we only care about our remainder this time, right? But we still have to solve the whole problem to find our remainder. So what division problem do I need to write down and solve? Noah?
5 divided by 17.
You sure about that?
17 divided by 5.
There you go. You just flipped it. You said 5 divided by 17. So I have 17 coats, dividing them into 5 groups. All right. Well, how many 5s will go into 1? Emma?
0.
0. 0 times 5 is 0. I send my 1 up here. All right. How many 5s will go into 17? No going over. Madeline? How many 5s will go into 17?
2.
Close.
3.
3. Okay, if I have 3 groups of 5, 3 times 5, I have 15. And when I subtract, 7 minus 5 is 2. 1 minus 1 is 0. What will this 2 end up being for our problem? Some of you are drifting in your paying attentionness. Make sure you're listening. Josiah?
It will be this coats left over.
Yeah, it's my remainder. So I can fill up 3 boxes full of coats, and then I have 2 coats left over. Now, what was my question? Hayden?
How many extra coats will there be?
So is my answer going to be 3 or 2? Chloe? 2. You're right. How do you know that? Noah, how do we know that?
Because 2 is left over, the remainder.
Okay, so we could fit, so there's 17 coats. We could make 3 boxes of 5 coats, and then there's 2 coats that are just saddened by themselves, right? They're left over. How many extra coats will there be? 2. 2 extra coats. 2 extras. All right, so the rest of your math today. On one side of your sheet, you are just practicing long division, box method. And on this side, you've got a few more problems to work on. I think 2 more, 3 more. 3 more, okay? So do your best. When you ask me questions, I expect to see that you've marked up your problem, that you are really doing it just like I taught you, okay? Noah?
Is What's the question of number 4?
Number 4, is it tricky?
I mean, not really, but I don't understand it.
Okay, let me scroll up. Why don't we do number 4 all together then if it's tricky. Oh, it's not on there, it's up here. Okay. Number 4. All right, does someone want to read number 4 while I get this mess erased? Zoe, nice and loud.
Isabel is making bed necklaces. Oh, bead necklaces. She wants to use 23 beads to make 7 necklaces. If she wants each necklace to have the same number of beads, how many necklaces can she make? How many beads will she have left over?
Okay, so let's find our important stuff. What's one bit of important information? Emma?
23.
She has 23 beads total. All right, that's important. What else is important? Josiah?
She has 7. She wants to make 7 necklaces.
7 necklaces is her goal. All right, the necklaces have to have the same amount of beads, okay? Same number of beads, don't forget that. Okay, what's our question, Emma?
How many necklaces can she make? How many beads will she have left over?
All right, so we've got 2 questions again, so I'm going to mark them number 1, number 2. Okay, so we're going to answer the first question first, which asks us, how many necklaces can she make? Well, she only has 23 beads, and she wants to make 7 necklaces, okay? So we need to divide 23 beads by 7. All right, Cadence, what's our first step?
How many times does 7 go into 2 times 0?
It's 0. 7 won't fit into 2. It's smaller. 0 times 7 is 0. 2 minus 0 is 2. So we send that 2 right up here. All right, so think about your math facts. Skip counting, multiples, all that good stuff. How many 7s will go into 23? No going over. Madeline?
3.
3. Good job. All right, Madeline, what is 3 times 7?
21.
21. And we subtract. 3 minus 1 is a 2. 2 minus 2 is a 0. All right, I have no more place values up here to send my 2. So what is my 2? Cadence? It's my remainder. So 3, remainder 2. That's not my answer, though. I need to think through what my answer means. Okay, this is the hardest part of what we're doing today. So the first question, how many necklaces can she make? Josiah?
3.
3. Okay, that was our answer here. So she can make 3 necklaces. And then we have another question to answer. So she can make 3 necklaces. And then, second question, how many beads will she have left over? What do you guys think? Noah?
2.
2. So we had 2 beads that she couldn't fit into her necklaces. Okay? So she can make 3 necklaces with 2 beads left over. All right, I will help you set up number 5, and then I'm going to turn you loose, okay? Number 5, a box of cupcakes costs $2. If you had $17, it should say dollars.
I wrote an S on mine.
You what?
I wrote an S on mine to make it $1.
You did? Okay. If you had $17, how many boxes can you buy? How much money would you have left? Is this another 2-part question? It is. So let's underline our important stuff. You guys should know how to do that now. Cupcakes, a box of them is $2. I have $17. First, how many boxes can I buy? That's my first question, number one. And then, how much money would I have left? Second question. Okay. So I know what's important, and I know I have 2 questions to solve. Now, what is my first step in solving my problem? I have $17. Cupcakes cost $2 a box. How many can I buy? Chloe, what do I do? I divide 17 divided by 2. So the whole number I get, that should be how many boxes of cupcakes I can buy, right? And then what will be my money left over? How am I going to know which answer goes there? Noah?
The remainder.
The remainder, okay? So go ahead, finish number 5 and do number 6. Do your best work. We'll keep working on this, okay? Those of you at home, your test over all of this stuff we've been working on will be on Monday, okay? So keep working hard. See you soon.